Hey guys, what's up? It's George. Welcome to Tighten Up RC. Today I'm going to be doing a motor and ESC swap on a ZD Racing Pirates 3 A-scale truggy. Slightly used and abused, but we gonna get it done. Stick around. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an install on a ZD Racing Pirates 3. This did come as a kit. It's been used and abused a bit, but he just wanted to, he just actually purchased this. Wanted to put a new motor in it. So, here we go. We're going to get started. So I did clean it up a bit. It does have some issues, as you can see. The chassis brace is a little cracked. Don't hate. It's not my car. It will get fixed. But, so, let's get to the matter at hand. Now, first thing we're going to do, or I'm going to do anyway, is I'm going to install the motor onto the motor mount. This actually slides into here and gets locked in by these two bolts right here to set your mesh. So, first thing, I'm going to choose a position here. Try to usually get the wires out of the way, so I want to see exactly where this is going to line up. Looks like could be good right about there. So it'll line up to these two holes right here. That way my motor wires are pretty straight. These are 2.5 millimeter screws here, and that's what originally came out of this, so that's what's going to go back in it. And I'm going to get my 2.5 screwdriver right here and a little Loctite on these because I don't want them to come loose. Ooh, a bit much, that's okay, more the merrier. Some people like to do just a tip. I like to get a good soaking on it. I don't know. Figure it just helps grab the threads a little better. Not those holes. So this apparently has two different size thread holes. News to me, I just found that out. It's the first time I'm actually working on one of these, so little adventure for all of us. Okay, Loctite on there. Run down. Got paper towels. Just get right in here. Careful to not cross thread anything. Should go in nice and smooth. Give it a good wrenching. Okay, now try to make it so I can find the flat spot in the motor. That's very key. You'll notice that the motor has a flat spot on the top. That is where your grom screw will lock into. Luckily this has a pretty chunky grom screw, 2 millimeter, which is nice. It's nice, very, very nice. Okay, so just slide this on. Now I'm not going to put Loctite on it quite yet because I may want to move this and push it around a little bit, but kind of load it on there, the flat spot. See how this lines up. I'm just going to slide this in here. All I'm doing kind of right here is just trying to figure out the line as to where this has to kind of line up. Okay, pull this out a little bit. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can either put it backward or whatever, but I'm just going to go straight on here. Throw a little Loctite on this bad boy. So I got my flat spot. And I'm about to put this screw in here. A little difficult. A little difficult. Okay. There I am. Alright, I'm going to just thread this in first. That way I got a good little... Apologize. It's such a tiny screw. Okay, I'm going to re-Loctite that because obviously all that Loctite came out of there. Started in here. Goes in pretty decent. Find my flat spot again. Okay. I'm feeling like I'm going to have to attack this from a different level. Sometimes these things just don't want to line up quite right the way you need them to. Luckily, I believe this pinion gear will actually fit through this hole in the motor mount bracket. So, and it will. So now, I'm going to do this way. That way you can kind of figure out exactly where this mesh needs to be. And I don't have enough room. So, this is what I mean by sometimes you got to put the pinion in that way. So now, I take that, take this, re-bolt this in, find my screw area, my bad, not. There we are. Come back out. On that one. It's still pretty wet, so gonna look out on that one. Okay, now round 2, fight. See how this lines up. Come on. There we go. Oh, I hate you. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I guess. It's just such on that edge. I had to flip it around. I'm just trying to get the... Let's see if I use the right one. Okay, so we're in. Now, we just find our mesh. You want to make sure that you don't put the mesh too tight. So we'll lock it down right about here and give it a spin and see what it sounds like. Ooh, that's tight. A little too tight, can't even turn it. Now, this motor mount will just kind of spin. That seems about right. I can hear a little movement, which is good. You don't want it locked down. You want it to be able to spin fairly free. It's still a little tight. Up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. That's what I'm going with. Okay. Okay. Now, so there we are. That's in there. Now, I'm going to take the ESC and we're just going to do kind of a dry test. So, first thing, and this is on a Traxxas receiver right now. Traxxas TQ, different than the TQI. And what we're going to do is we're going to find channel 1 for your receiver. Your servo. So your turning servo goes in channel 1. Now on these, I've noticed people do this. If you look at this receiver, it's probably not going to really focus in. But where this pin is, you're going to see 4 others. Well, 3 others. I'm sorry. Now, your actual channel 2 for your throttle is going to be, you're going to skip one up from that, and you're going to put your throttle into the next one. So it'll be, you have your servo, which is 1. Okay, so that's 1 to turn. You skip this one because that's another channel 1. And then you go to the next one up, which is actually channel 2. And you always put your dark wire out towards the edge. So your black or your brown. Like that. See how the wires are closer. The dark wires are always going to be closer to this thin edge when you put them on. Okay. So, now we take that. We're going to take the motor. Now because this is a sensorless system, the nice thing about this, you find your center wire on the ESC, which is this right here. Okay? And you find your center wire on your motor. This is your main power. Okay? This is one you will not have to switch. Then, usually what I like to do first off is I'll just line them up. So, this one, if you can see that, goes to this one. And then the other outer one goes to that one. So they pretty much line up straight. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to get a battery. I'm going to pause right here for a second. Okay. I'm back. Now, we seem to lose the caps to those things. Okay. So, I'm going to double-sided tape this into here. Find a nice spot. I'm going to go right like this. just like that. And we can take these wires right here, tuck them right in here. Swap. We're just going to leave that like that for now. Alright, let's drop. Try a 2S for now in it and see how it hooks up. See how it works. Make sure that wire's moved out of that. Make sure it's not in that. Okay. Now, remote on. See on. Here's to work. Only thing is the motor is backward, meaning it's spinning backward. So, easiest way to do that, to change that, like I said, because it is a sensorless system, this yellow wire remains in the center. You're going to take this orange wire and this blue wire and just simply swap them. Orange. Now it should run forward properly. Here we have it. Now, I'm going to button the rest of this up all nice, because I don't like wires just kind of hanging everywhere. Okay, how am I going to see about this? I'm going to take this, roll this underneath here, and get it to this side. I can also shut this down real quick. Like how this is running through here. Take you, stick it back in channel 2 spot. Okay. And then, because I don't want these wires gathering up around this drive shaft, I'm going to take it, this wire, I'm just going to kind of squinch them together a little bit right here. Grab me a zip tie, slide it up underneath here, and this over here. Zip all that together nice. That way, nothing's rubbing on the drive shaft. I'm going to move this just a little bit more. Right there. Okay. And then, little trick here. Because we need the switch obviously, so what we're going to do, I like to use hot glue for the switches. And I'll usually take it, a little dabby do on there, right up against the ESC, like that, like so. Hold it for a second, and then see how this wire kind of sticks out here. I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but what I usually do is I just take a little dabby of glue hot glue right there, so it kind of stays. Like that. We'll hold it for a few seconds here. I like to try to keep my wiring as clean as possible. There, see? Now that's nice, it's out of the way. Now, here's an interesting little trick. So, apparently, my buddy has seemed to have lost his antenna wire. So, I don't have one, but this is an interesting little thing. You take yourself a little stir stick, you know, one of little coffee stirs, little tiny ones. You can actually take this, use it as an antenna wire holder. Suck this right up into here, like that. And then, usually what I'll do is I'll just kind of heat it up a little bit. Got me a lighter, just so it'll bend. Not too shabby. A little further down towards the base. Now, take our antenna, stick it in there, like so. Slide it all up in there, so it's out of the way. Move that right there, and I just take a little bit more hot glue, dab it down on the edge of this. It'll keep that in there. And hold it a bit. There you go. Okay, and then you really kind of want to leave it out of the way. What I'm going to do right here, I'm just going to kind of take another zip tie, throw it on like this, and then you want to give it a little bit of room. Take another zip tie, put it around here, the round way, like so. That way you got a little bit of a, and then like that. And you cut all these little ends off. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that, nice and clean. Nice little setup. Now, because these do tend to run a little hot, I'm gonna throw the fan in. It should clip right on. Boom. And then you just take the fan wire and run it to channel 3 on your receiver. Make sure your black wire's out all the way to the end. Boom. And I'm going to take a little bit of a, take another zip tie here, obviously, because I don't want that all getting crumped up inside the gearing. Another zip tie. Wires are in there, not hitting the gears or nothing. I don't really like the way this looks, but There we go. Bang. Okay, now turn this thing back on. The fan is not going on. Perhaps I did not plug it in correctly. Oh, that might be something I might have to deal with after the fact. That fan is not coming on. But that's how we change the motors in. It's all hooked up, ready to go. I'm going to disconnect this for now. Put the wheels on it. And throttle it up and see what it sounds like. Okay. 17 mil wheel hexes. Slap these bad boys back on. Make sure they line up. Boom. Yep, 17 mil. Lug gun, baby. Lug gun. Make sure you put them on right. Make sure the serrated part of the nut. Not sure if you can see that. You should see little serrated edges versus the nice flat clean. And that goes towards the inside of the wheel. Make sure your wheels are on the hex correctly. Good little twist right there. On the front. Wheels are real tight. There we go. Okay, that's seated. A few more. Thing grabs. Okay. Almost there. 2 more wheels. We'll put this thing up. Give it a spin. Unfortunately, today, I'm not going to be able to take it out to show y'all that it runs correctly. Because we are actually under tornado advisory, apparently. I apologize for the crappy camera angle. That's on. Last wheel. Last wheel. Try to get them started by hand first because you don't want to cross thread nothing. Okay. Now, here we go. Throw this up here. On top of this box. And pull it back a little bit so you really get a good view. Okay. This time, we're going to actually chuck a 3S in it. See how she lights up now. Now, the ESC I put in here is a 120 amp ESC. And you can run all the way up to 4S on this safely. They are actually a pretty good ESC. It's a budget ESC. Surpass Hobbies makes it. And if you want them, probably the cheapest you could probably find them is like Temu, maybe, or AliExpress. That's usually where I would go to get them, is AliExpress. They're actually a reasonable price. Alright, let's plug this thing back in. Turn this bad boy back on. Give it a whirl. Forward, reverse. And there we have it. Running and gunning. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Alright guys, seems like the worst of the weather has passed. I guess we're ready to take this thing for a run. Let's see how this worked out, this motor and ESC swap. Now, like I said, the ESC is actually 120 amp ESC. It will take up to 4S, but I'm going to run it on 3S just to see how we're rolling. Alright, let's do this. See how she moves. Mesh is too tight. Hey guys, what's up? So I was actually going to edit that last section out, but because, well, hey, nobody's perfect and I want to show you guys that. Obviously, the mesh was a little too tight. That's why it kind of had like hard stops and it was very loud. So I'm going to stick it back on the bench. I'm going to take the motor mount and give it a little bit of a turn counterclockwise, which will actually loosen up the mesh on that. And I'm going to tighten up the other two bolts that hold that down and send it back out. See how she rolls. Should sound a lot better. Alright, let's check out the fruits of the labor. Not bad on 3S. Let's see how she looks off a jump. Alright, let's give it a launch here. See how it goes. Well guys, time to tighten her up again, end this show. Hopefully this is informative and it helps you out with your ZD racing. And hope you really enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. See you next time.